I mean, I remember we're not filming, are we?
Yeah.
We're not, are we?
We could just delete it.
Because I can't say it. I definitely can't say it. That's a great intro.
I think it's a great intro.
Yeah, it is.
I think when I discovered that song, I discovered something about myself, because obviously the words are, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And I had never thought about it.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
suddenly realised
It's really fitting.
that was like in my soul. That was what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because like my absolute worst nightmare is like somebody being upset with me.
Right. Yeah.
I can't, despite the fact that what I want to do is poke the bear.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
Don't always like the result.
No, I hate it. I go home and like me and Amy, like I sit there and I'm like, she's like, I don't care about it, and I'm like going, oh, yeah, but I've got it wrong. So the idea is speed. You've got 10 pieces of kindling, 2 matches, 2 firelighters, and 3 kilos of wood. And the aim is operating temperature on the stove.
Okay. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, so this is quite a confident, slow approach.
Open this one up.
Very methodical. Oh, mate. George, this is phenomenal. This is the true embodiment of the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh, firelighter straight away.
That's how I would do it.
That's not bad. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Vents open. Doors are ajar. Oh, he's closing that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, just getting used to the controls. We can respect that. No movement yet. Just checking with his hand. Hang on a minute, he hasn't used the... What? Why isn't the fuel on? Oh, maybe he's putting on now. Still slow and steady. I mean, this is confident. I can't actually believe it. I certainly didn't have this confidence. I was panicking, rushing as fast as I can. Hang on. He only put one of those logs on. Just that open a bit. I mean, I wouldn't have closed it, but he's checking with his hand again. Play around with that. He's checking. It's still not got. It's one of the firelighters, isn't in there? Bet his hand's just on it. It's still stone cold. Oh yeah, check it again. Yeah, just make sure. 10 minutes gone. Just got to make sure that it's still stone cold. And again. Do you think he's trying to manifest heat? 11 minutes. I still can't... The confidence, the chill. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll get it going. Oh, he's being good. He's making sure it's on the latch.
It's difficult to know, to shut it down or...
I mean, I'd say don't shut it down. You want it blazing. There he is. The tortoise personified here. Still checking whether it's hot. damper half closed. That might not be a bad idea, actually. Half closed can, allow that area of the flue pipe to heat up quite quickly. Oh, and the last log is going on. 15 minutes. I can't believe he didn't put, he could have put that on literally quarter of an hour ago. Oh. Opening the damper. Oh, we've got blazing fire now. We're getting close to 200. That's not... Oh, he's got some resolve now.
Yeah, I did wonder.
Clenching the fist.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good technique, tapping that. He's still checking. He's still smoothing the stove. Oh, he's nearly there, and it's 17 minutes. I mean, who knows? We don't know yet what's good and what's bad, but 18 minutes. I mean, it's certainly better than Amy.
Mate, you are, without a doubt, the most chilled person at lighting that. You've used, the biggest log was out of the stove for most of it.
It was.
And you have the kindling left, firelighter and a match. Is that just like a big up yours to everyone else who tries?
If I can do the big up yours, obviously that's what I try to do. No, I just, it's pretty much how I light it at home with my own stove. So, and quite often putting a big piece of wood on top of the fire when you're trying to get it going doesn't necessarily help, I don't think.
No, this is a good point.
So, and also I'm quite tight with the wood at home, so I tend to save the bigger lumps till later on, only I'm allowed to put them on, really.
Yeah. This is George Fox, and George, what do you do?
I do a bit of general garden maintenance, so I might do a bit of hedge cutting, do some lawns, do some small tree work, that kind of stuff. And I've also got a small log business. Selling kiln-dried wood to, people locally. And that seems to work quite well.
To us, in fact.
Yeah, and to yourselves,
So every stove that's tested, everything that we do comes from you.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Including the kindling, which you use so sparingly.
I do. I know how much value it's got, and I know how precious it is to the customer. So
absolutely, UK, and even that. Yeah, the logs. You. It took you a while to use the last log. I was thinking, flipping at this guy coming here and just, I'm buying the stuff off him and he's burning it, and then actually you didn't burn it.
I think the thing with the big log is at home we always have what I'm sure probably a lot of people have, but I always look at a big log as what I call a film log.
Okay.
So if you're going to watch a film in the evening and you don't want to be getting up and down in front of the fire, then you have 2 or 3 big logs that you've kept back out of your pile somewhere.
So you're not getting up to reload.
So you put one on just before you put your film on, and so I always call that a film log.
That's fantastic.
It's the height of laziness, really.
Yeah.
And also for burning overnight, because we run our stove pretty much all winter overnight. So it will start in September and we run it till about March or April constantly. So
it's chugging now?
It's chugging now, I always big log on before I go out to work, and the same in the evening before I go to bed. And it's just enough to just stir the fire up in the morning and off you go again.
And what stove is it?
That's a really good question. I have no idea.
I think, from memory, yours is a Hunter Herald Allure.
It is an Allure, that's right. Yeah, which is a copy, isn't it? A sort of. I'd like to think it's a copy of a better stove. It's a great stove.
What would be your favourite stove?
Probably a Heta.
I mean, do you love working in this industry, or is this sort of something you happened upon? How did you come into it?
Interestingly enough, I always wanted to, as a child, I always had a fascination for wanting to sell nets of logs to people. Even when I was gardening as a young man, I was really happy working outdoors gardening, but I always had an ambition in the back of my head somewhere. that I wanted to sell nets of logs, and that would be my life. And I never really considered that or aimed towards that.
But it's just a thing.
It was just a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm quite a slow burner, so anything in my life that I decide, it might not happen for 20 years or whatever, but it probably does eventually come around. Yeah, when I look back now, and when I started up the log business, it was more through chance than anything. So I happened to start helping someone else who owned a log business at the time, and didn't at that time have any thoughts of, having my own business or anything. But things change, and I started selling a little bit of wood here and there to see how that went, and then I got an offer from a friend of mine who was interested in sort of helping and going into business with me.
Yes.
So it went from there. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, we only buy from you. That is...
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
And if ever we see you, you're very keen that, we've been lighting the fires recently. Perhaps that's why you run your stove 24/7. It's to encourage the customers.
It is, yeah. I think more from, because I'm interested in my customers' welfare, essentially.
Yeah.
So obviously it's good for them to stay warm. If you're warm, you're happy in spirit, aren't you? And
absolutely.
Happy in soul.
Yeah. And obviously, the money flows.
And the money flows for the business, which is always good.
Do you have any really bad customers where you're like, I don't. If you stop burning, that wouldn't be a problem?
Yeah, you always get. I think probably whatever you do in business, you always have customers that are easy to deal with, and you have a steady flow of customers that are just every day and not a problem and are really valuable to the business. And you always have a few customers that probably you could do without. And we do generally filter them out over a period of time. That's just what happens. And that works well. So every year we'll lose a few. And we gain a few. But generally, no, I think generally, our customers are great. We're lucky, friendly, pleased to see us.
This industry, as a general rule, has a huge sort of satisfaction percentage. If you take other industries like luxury cars or hot tubs or things like that, this is like a flash purchase that's relatively impulsive and I want it.
As in the stove?
No, as in these high-end things, like high-end desirable things like sports car or a hot tub or something like that. These, as I understand it, have a quite a low percentage of people that don't regret the purchase. There's a lot of regret going on.
Yeah.
But stoves, this whole industry has a huge sort of satisfaction percentage, which is obviously lovely, and obviously why, as a general rule, my experience is people are happy, aren't they? People love it. And just because I can't stop myself, do you have anyone that really didn't love it, that where it all went wrong?
Yeah, definitely. I always think back to one particular customer when we were changing product forcibly after COVID.
Right.
So supplies suddenly changed over COVID because prices changed. So everything up at the farm changed pretty much overnight. The way we handled things, the way we brought wood in, the way we took it out to customer. And I remember one morning going to a customer for a second time, and I went to get into the telehandler, and the telehandler wouldn't start, so I had to go off and get something to jumpstart the telehandler. It was pouring with rain.
Oh.
The product that we'd replaced our previous wood supply with probably wasn't as good. It was okay, but probably wasn't as good as I'd like to think our original wood was. And I went to load it. The telehandler bucket was full of water. I was in a bad place and bad mood. I scooped up a load of wood that then I could see water was actually coming out to the bottom of the telehandler bucket. And I'm also, at that point, I'm that sort of person. I've given up anyway. I don't care anymore. And it's going to the customer. So I loaded it into the tipper truck and drove it to the customer. She wasn't in, so I was delighted. And I tipped the wood outside the house, which was a ridiculously stupid thing to do. I knew all the time I was doing it, the thing to do was to go back, start the whole thing again and do the job
Do it properly, yeah.
I covered the wood up to stop it getting any wetter. It was just essentially a waste of time. And I did, in fact, then get the phone call from the customer,
right,
who was horrified with what I'd supplied. I didn't even try to defend it. I just said, yes, it was wet when I left the yard. She then said she wouldn't pay for it, which I was slightly miffed about. And she said she'd like me to come and pick it up, which obviously I didn't want to do because I wasn't in that frame of mind to be helpful towards the customer at all. So I said, look, if you give me 30 quid for it, we'll just call it quits. And she agreed and said, I'll give you 30 quid, but I consider it to be rubbish. And we're done on a business. And I said, that's very good with me. And that ended our relationship, which was an awful experience. And I did feel, pretty shit about it.
Yeah. But to be fair, I think, I don't know how much wood it was, but 30 quid regardless was a good deal.
It was. She had 15 quid's worth of bag kindling, which was really dry. So essentially she paid 15 quid for a load of wood, which would have been usable, just had to store it for a few months.
Yes.
But obviously that wasn't what the customer was looking for.
No.
So it was that's an honest, report of something that went wrong. And things do go wrong in business.
Of course they do. And we've all done that. Let's be honest about it. We've all cocked it up and then just been like, no, I don't want to take it back. Just have the money.
Yeah.
Just have it all because my life's miserable and it's all gone wrong.
Yeah.
No, that's a really cool story. Thank you for that.
But I have to say, it wasn't a great moment because I was aware that the main failing with that wasn't the business, it wasn't the wood, it wasn't the customer, for sure. It was me and my bad attitude on a bad day.
And if that's gone wrong.
Yeah, and that did serve as a warning. I did learn from it.
That's good.
So it was great.
Yeah, that's really useful. Yeah. You're because I know you a little bit. You are, and perhaps this is why we get on so well. You're also a car guy.
I am.
Yeah. So you pulled up in a very nice Mercedes today, which I had to take some shots of just because I love cars. But what's the dream?
The dream?
Yeah, what's the dream car?
The dream car, I suppose, wouldn't be what you might think. So a lot of people may say a Ferrari. Some might say a Porsche. Another person might have an idea, a Lamborghini. That's not really for me. I like a car that's powerful but comfortable. Comfort comes quite high.
Bentley?
No, probably not a Bentley. I'd love to have an AMG version of the Mercedes that I've got currently.
Like an E63 with the big V8.
Yeah. That's what I'm sort of looking out for. And again, that might happen one day. You just don't know.
Oh, mate, it needs to happen. I've just got a vision now of you delivering logs with a trailer on the back of a 500 brake horsepower V8.
That'd be fantastic.
Maybe you could deliver to the same woman and sort of do like a wheel spin. Just the logs like fly through a conservatory.
I think that'd be cool. But the car thing is, bikes were always my big interest as a younger man. Not so much now. I'm sort of out of bikes at the moment. so I wasn't a great car fan as a young man because what money I had, I spent on bikes. But now, I'm more steered towards the sort of comfort of a really nice car.
Yes.
And love, enjoy seeing other people's cars as well.
Yeah. I mean, but bikes, getting cramped up and, doing silly things on bikes does, I can imagine, get wearing.
Yeah. And of course, you get you've got a great attitude towards life, haven't you? In your young 20s.
Yeah.
You're
invincible.
You are invincible. So it's not going to happen to you.
No.
Which makes it, makes a bike exactly what it should be. Whereas you do definitely lose that as you get older.
Yes. Yeah, do you lose something or do you gain something? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think most people hate to lose that having no fear.
Yes.
I think we none of us like to lose that, but actually, I think you need to lose it, don't you?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
to some degree,
it gets you in trouble, doesn't it?
Gets you in trouble.
Yeah. I have some similar stories where it's all gone wrong, and of course, where it goes really badly is when you're young enough to feel invincible, and you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
That can see one on the back wheel of a motorbike going round a corner at some speed, thinking you're Valentino Rossi.
Yeah.
And then you hit a drain.
Yeah.
And it slides a little bit.
Yeah. I remember, I'll very quickly tell you a very brief bike story where I saw myself as Barry Sheen.
Yes.
In fact, at the time I was 17 and I had a step-through moped, so I had the leg guards.
Oh, yeah.
But I also considered myself very cool. So I was driving to see a new girlfriend who I hadn't met before. I had put on my best cowboy boots and I had my leather jacket on and I was on my, my invincible Honda FR50.
Nice.
And went heading towards her house. Decided, for whatever reason, to hurtle round and round the roundabout 4 or 5 times just because I thought that would be cool. Fell off the bike, got back up and thought, I better go and see this woman because that's the next most important step of the day. So turn up at this woman's house, or young girl at the time. Decide to sort of shake my jacket up, make sure I look cool still, make sure my cowboy boots are all in order. And I'm walking up towards her front door and suddenly I'm limping really quite badly and thought, oh blimey, I've actually hurt myself, falling off on that roundabout. Still we'll cover it up. She comes to the door and looking at me quite oddly. And in fact, what I'd done was knock the back part of my cowboy boots off, so I didn't have a limp. I was actually, lost most of my boot. The date didn't go particularly well.
No.
But anyway, I drove off on my bike and everything was fine.
Yeah. Oh, it was still going? You just hopped straight back on?
I just hopped straight back on and went home. It's a great story.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, this industry, how do you feel about it at the moment? How's trade? Is it busy? Is it quiet? Is it?
Trade's steady towards good. I think generally that this year it's probably been quieter than normal. Generally, it's a bit milder, I think, this winter.
Yes.
But I think the feedback I get from the different people I talk to, everyone's busy enough, but I don't think we're ever doing what we did when COVID was around, and I don't think we ever were.
Those were some boom years, weren't they?
They were really busy times, lots of things happening.
Were they manic for logs as well?
Manic for logs, which was fantastic. It was really good boost for us.
Yes.
Which we needed at the time.
Yeah.
But it's generally good, I would say. I think people are interested in stoves and enjoying having stoves at home.
Yeah. Mate, I reckon we want to reload that. Can I have some logs?
2 or 3, Amy. It's good to put plenty on, more rather than less.
Ah, it's a beautiful fire in there.
Well, you learn something every day.
What's that?
I didn't know those handles were designed to fit like that on those stoves. I think I've got same design handles on the stove I've got in my shed.
Oh, okay.
And I normally use a glove, and I've got the same.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, which I normally just use to clear the ash pan out. I didn't realise it actually had a proper use. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it stays relatively clean as well. I'm quite happy with this stove.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, Amy thought, perhaps we would have, something that was, really modern or desirable and really flash and nice. And I was absolutely dead set on having, the set look quite nice.
Yeah.
But the stove, we literally pulled out of a skip. We haven't resprayed it.
Wow.
We haven't rewrote the doors.
Wow.
The glass is cracked, and I don't want to replace it because it has the original bobbly glass.
Yeah.
Which probably looks awful in the cameras.
Yeah.
Well, no, it does look awful in the cameras because it looks sort of like a hologram.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had the feel. I mean, this stove is proper ancient, so it doesn't even have like air vents. Like villagers, for years, like probably since the 90s, have had traditional air vents, sliders on the door and whatnot.
Yeah.
All this has, the only control is opening and closing the ash pan door.
Vent. Yeah.
That's all it is. Well, you've got the damper, which.
So really, it's quite drawn towards coal, isn't it?
Yeah.
In its design.
Yes, it is, and yeah, I suppose if you go back before the 90s, you go back to before Maggie Thatcher and the rest of it.
Yeah.
And probably coal was what anybody. I mean, this is as you say, it's a proper coal burner. It has a riddling grate and a.
Well, also, people back in those days, nearly everybody in a family had a relative that worked in a coal mine in some respect or other.
Yes.
So I learned from elder relatives that coal was popular as well, because a lot of the time people had all sorts of arrangements where if you knew someone who worked on the railways where they were shifting coal around, they'd quite often leave coal for friends on the banks of their backyards on the rail lines. Yeah. So if they had ways of dropping coal off to people that they knew, friends, whatever, there was systems going on where, so
just chuck it over.
Yeah, some people were getting, unofficial coal deliveries. So coal was very popular during those years, where there was no money either.
No, absolutely.
So, if you could heat your home, that was half the battle, wasn't it? With the housekeeping, it was feeding yourself and keeping your home warm. That was really all most people could afford to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very easy for particularly people in my generation to look back and go, they're flipping mad. Bunch of people under the ground breathing in a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
Then burning a load of stuff very inefficiently so everyone else can breathe in a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's a bit too simple.
Yeah.
Try some real hard times.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, we were talking earlier about having a bad day, it all going wrong. That nowadays is like the worst thing that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, there are tragedies that occur, but that was just life.
Yeah.
And that was every day.
I don't think there was wood available like there is now.
No.
We pretty much, because we're, most wood burners now are directed towards coal. And essentially there's a good supply of wood into this country. And sustainably taken, from woodlands in this country. But I think back then there wasn't. So, nearly all your heating really was directed towards an open coal fire.
Yeah. See, I find myself, personally, I'm very pro wood usage. Far more pro wood usage than coal.
Yeah.
I think it's cleaner. I think it's obviously renewable. And, I think there's tons of advantages. But hearing you say that, I'm thinking to myself, hang on a minute, that is that is the same old rubbish. That's just called being rich enough to import this stuff over from the Baltic. Give them the problem of growing it, doing all the stuff, ignore the fact that we ship it over on boats and, that's probably not too good for the environment. But we feel good. I feel good.
Yeah.
And that, what you've just described, this old school coal usage, I don't know, it feels more authentic.
It does, yeah.
We were digging it out of the ground. I mean, we live where we are now. It's based just down the road from Radstock, which is full of miners' cottages. It's a proper mining town.
Yeah.
And so, I grew up in a tiny little hamlet called Nettlebridge, and all around Nettlebridge are fields where you can still today dig coal straight out of the ground.
Incredible.
It's you don't have to go down very far.
Yeah.
I remember my dad taking me through it and showing me all the where the veins of coal were, and you're just like,
amazing.
This is incredible. And maybe I'm going on a tangent now, but part of me is just like, and we were digging that out of the ground here. We were personally responsible here. Yeah. It wasn't, let's ship our rubbish over to India so that we don't have to look bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which feels awful.
Yeah.
I almost, you could get, the good old days. You could do that, can't you?
Yeah, and of course, running the railways on coal, essentially, as well, weren't they? So, the coal industry was huge.
Yes.
Public transport, essentially, to some degree was, a lot of people on trains, they didn't have cars, so if they were going to see someone, you went on a train.
On the train.
And of course that was essentially, it's run by coal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Coal sort of dominated the...
And probably affordable, unlike now.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw these times. I never saw these days. I never saw any of these railways open.
Yeah.
And yet there's this great sort of feeling of nostalgia and going, oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm sure the reality was probably like, oh, no.
Yeah,
somebody's chucked a lump of coal on the side because you're poor and you've got nothing.
Yeah.
And that might keep you warm that weekend.
Yeah. Well, we recently went on the East Somerset Railway, so on a proper old steam train, which was fantastic.
Yes.
But I'd forgotten, and it did remind me, you got onto the train and you found your little carriage, you used to slide the door back and go and sit in your little private area, which is great, but it was bloody freezing because, of course, there's no heating on board them.
No.
So you get used to that. So they're nostalgic, but they were tough times.
Yeah.
Tough people from tough times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not like us fairies that, float around going, oh, I want a really quaint old-looking stove because isn't it quaint?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is probably, people have survived for decades because of that.
Yeah.
And now I've dug it out the skip, chucked it in here, just because it suits the aesthetic that I'm after.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And it works, and it does exactly what you're asking of it. So.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, this is the definition of recycling, reusing, renewable stuff. I mean, even ridiculous ideas about Mercedes AMG E63 V8s. The reality is they brought out that car, whatever it was, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And actually, it's pretty green. It's not as bad as, I'm sure the whole concept isn't necessarily beautifully green, but reusing old things is surely better than going, oh, I've made a new thing that's 5% cleaner.
Yeah. And of course, if you go down that road, essentially a lot of that's forgotten. So I remember very clearly in the 1970s as a child, where essentially we weren't driven at all to be cleaner or recycling. None of this. That wasn't a big part of our lives at all. We were just busy getting on with our lives.
Yes.
But I remember spending many, many weekends at my grand's house, and there was recycling going on all over the place. You didn't throw out paper. There was the paper sack man. He just came once a week and picked up all your cardboard and paper. You had a rag and bone man, so all your clothes were recycled. Any spare clothes, cloth, anything like that, that was picked up. You had the bloke that came and took away the ash from the fire. You had a scrap man who used to come round with a cart and pick up iron and metal.
Yes.
There wasn't any plastic anyway, because plastic wasn't circulated or being used
in the same way,
in manufacturing in the same way. So you had no, all your food products, drinks and stuff were in glass. That was all recycled anyway, because the milkman would come and take that and
of course, on a daily milk bottle
basis. So essentially, there wasn't any. We weren't creating the rubbish in the first place to have to get rid of it. So you could say in the 70s, I think to some degree, we were probably greener and recycling more.
I mean, you've just literally blown my mind. I'm astounded. Like everything we're told that we're getting wrong or should be improving or doing or whatever. And of course, there's an element to which we sort of go, oh, these older generations, well, they did it all.
Yeah.
And now we're left fixing it.
Yeah.
And, assuming what you're saying is completely accurate, I'm looking at that going, flipping heck.
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah. I mean, it was absolutely normal for the electric vehicles were used for milk delivery.
Milk floats.
Because the milkman was out at 3 a.m. So he didn't want to wake people up because people were getting up early anyway to work. So he'd come round and deliver the
silent
milk, electric vehicle.
Do you know, I got ran over by one as a kiddie cycling to college or
must
school.
Have hurt.
Yeah. And obviously it's silent.
Oh, I see.
I was cycling to school and it just silently just went...
Oh dear.
Wiped me out at like 7 a.m.
Oh no, it's not a great start to the day.
Oh, it was a bad day.
Yeah.
And then he brought, I was literally on the floor, and he brought me my bike and just went, oh, the wheels still go round, and then just clicked
you're all right. Yeah. But even, that you saying that reminds me, it was really common for when we were young lads, so 17, 18, and we're out in the pubs, it was really, really common. You'd know the local milkman, and that's how you used to get home from the pub. Because you'd be wandering around late at night, drunk and whatever, looking for a way to go home. You'd see the local milkman, he'd come buzzing along in the milk cart. You'd just jump on the back and he'd drop you home. Because times were different then.
Yes.
So there was no taxis, there was no need for taxis. You just got Tim, as it was back then.
Yeah.
Tim, he used to come and, he'd come past the 3 Cups and he'd pick us up and take us home.
What, and you'd be let out at 3 a.m. when he had started?
Yeah, we just jumped on the back of the milk cart
and
he'd
that's
drop you off.
Cool.
Yeah, might even get a drink on the way home. It was fantastic days.
Mate, to me, this is the description of Candyland. This is just
it was
amazing.
I think life was. I think it was fantastic in the 70s. I think people really underestimate the reality of it. I mean, there was my gran never went and bought veg. She occasionally went to a local veg market like we have these days.
Yes.
But in the main, the veg man actually came round in a van down the road and delivered veg every week to customers, so people didn't go out. There was no packaging because you just went and picked out your veg off the back of the van. So the recycling and the green side of things I think it was particularly strong in the 70s. That's my personal view and memory.
I mean, it sounds phenomenal. It sounds almost like this picturesque ideal that you hear people talk about. But of course, they'll all be, the reality was your home was heated by coal. And
it was.
On the one hand, that sounds, it's not quite as clean as it could be. And then you factor in, oh no, it flipping was. This wasn't, stuff. This was people going down in the ground, taking it out, burning it, and this is almost like utopia. I obviously I wasn't there in the 70s,
but of course,
I wish I was.
Life was different, so you only ever would really use, if you were a working class family, which nearly everybody I knew was, you used one room in your house in the winter and that was it. And I'm sure you've experienced that.
Yeah.
But most people working class always had a second room,
Right.
but that wasn't used, so it probably wasn't heated. So the front room where the fireplace was where all your mates would come in, you'd sit and smoke in the armchair and enjoy the fire. But the sitting room was a room that was never actually used, and most working families had this.
Yeah.
They had would have a big dining table which would be all set up, and the places would be there for people to eat, with comfortable chairs and maybe a big rug in the middle of the room if they could afford that. But they didn't actually use those rooms. They were used just to show some evidence that you were doing okay, that you could eat in that room if you wanted to, but you didn't use it because it wasn't really practical.
No. So in the summer, when it was warmer, would that be used more?
No, it would be just set up, everything in place, like a showroom. And nearly every home had one of those rooms.
So this was about was this just when people came round?
It was to be able to, you'd show them, that we'll go in here and the ashtrays would be on the side of the sofa, and you sit in there and smoke and enjoy each other's company.
Yes.
And you'd probably, if they were new guests, you'd show them the sitting room. But you wouldn't ever go in there to actually sit down. It wasn't a thing. It was like an unsaid. They were lovely homes.
Yeah.
Lovely homes,
I was just absolutely phenomenal.
Essentially, you could say with coal, this is a personal argument, you could say with coal, it was a dirty fuel and there was lots of negatives about it. But actually, you only ever heated one room anyway. So you weren't trying to use central heating, gas or whatever to heat the whole house.
Yes.
There was no need because you all stayed in one room. We didn't sit around in 4 or 5 rooms in the house.
Yes.
You never did. It didn't matter how many people were in the house, you'd all congregate in the front room. You didn't sit in separate rooms with phones and televisions doing different things.
No.
And
it sounds less excessive.
Much less excessive.
We're like everything to the max.
Yeah.
And that feels more humble.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a choice, or do you think it was more born out of necessity, of there just wasn't the money to be... Like, I suppose having a TV set was an expensive thing, so having 2 would be ridiculous.
Yeah. I think it was born out of having survived the Second World War, which was obviously mid-40s, coming into the 50s.
Yeah.
So most people in the 60s and the 70s were still living through the memory and
I suppose the adults, the younger people were born out of it, but like you would have been born after that.
Yeah.
But everybody around you, the whole framework, the whole culture, had been shaped by that.
Yeah. So there wasn't money around.
Yes.
And I remember my gran, certainly, who lived in Ashton in Bristol. And we used to sit in there in front of a coal fire in her room. She wouldn't spend money on anything. And, heating the front room was excessive, really. That was...
a luxury.
Yeah, to be comfortable was almost like, you're going a bit above your station. That's how the general feeling was. You didn't look after yourself properly. If you looked after yourself properly, that was almost considered, well, you were moving into a different class. Working class people were meant to be uncomfortable. That's certainly how they lived, and the general feeling was if you worked hard, that was good. If your job was dangerous, that was probably a good thing. You were doing a good, worthwhile job.
Yes.
So things were very different. So she wouldn't spend money on anything, a telephone, no central heating. She wouldn't spend really money on anything at all excessive. And worked in a school kitchen as a kitchen supervisor. And took home a weekly wage, which we understood she was living on, but in fact she was living on her husband's pension, who died very young. He died and left her alone, so she was living off his pension. And when we cleared her home out, her wardrobe up in her front room was actually full of string bags with all her wage packets in, unopened. She'd never opened them. So all the years she worked at the school kitchen, she just put her wage packet with the cash into a string bag that was for a rainy day, in case things went really wrong and got much worse. So there was a very different mindset in those days.
honestly, George, thank you very much for this. I could talk to you about this the rest of the day.
Even though we're not talking about stoves.
No, I know, but I've loved the conversation. It's been absolutely fantastic, and thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you.
Well, thank you for your time as well, which obviously everybody who comes here starts off by lighting this rather old beast. And I think you did,
reasonably well.
I think you did reasonably well. Obviously, we need a leaderboard, and we need to slowly grow and have a few more times on there to see really how well you did. Thank you very much for the chat.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. It's been lovely.
Good.